will be on, but we'll be bringing you the game and video here on HobbsAmerica.com. So if you want to listen to the game, watch the game on Friday night, go to your computer, go to HobbsAmerica.com, and click on the Cardinal, as Jimmy Jones and I will be bringing you the broadcast live from the Eunice Cardinal Stadium Friday night.
Yeah, that football game, as I said, has got the makings of a good one. Joe has made a coaching transition this year, so they've got a new coach down there in Dusty Giles. He came down from Escalante, and his son, from what I hear, is he's their quarterback, and they say he's a heck of an athlete. So he's brought that in. I mean, they've got a couple other young men that are down there doing a really good job for them. And then Eunice, the 3-time defending state champions. They've lost one game in the last 3+ seasons, and so it's got all the makings of a really good battle of late. The last 5-6 years, Eunice has kind of shut Joe out. They won last year 56-12, the year before 48-12, the year before 49-0, 62-12, and 55-6. So it's been lopsided of late, but I know historically it's always been a battle. And after watching both teams play this past weekend, I think Friday we could see an exciting competitive ball game.
Well, one thing we know that there was anything that we saw that was really a weakness for the Eunice team on Saturday. It was the kicking team, not only the extra point, but the actual kickoffs. Yeah,
they've got to do a little work there, and the big thing that I thought was turnovers. I think 3 times we handed the ball over to them inside the 15-yard line, and one of those inside the 2. And so, when you do that, it makes it tough for you. So it'll be interesting to see if they can fine-tune a couple of those things. Then, I would guess coming in, Eunice being the 3-time defending state champs, they'd have to be the favorite in the ball game coming in. But if you come out and you turn the ball over and make some of those mistakes that we made in this last game, Joe's got an improved team this year, and it could be a different story for sure.
Well, I think the one thing that we saw on Saturday was speed and speed and speed.
Yeah. Eunice is fast, and they've got a lot of kids that can run. Probably by Micah Tippett. The kid can fly, and when he gets in open space, a couple times there he did, he's hard to run down. He's hard to catch. I think for the game, he ended up, I've got some stats here, he ended up with 85 rushing yards on 8 carries, 82 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns. And, then Zeke Benton had 7 catches as a receiver for 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Max Preps ranked Hayden Dean as the player of the game. He had 218 passing yards, 66 rushing yards, 14 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Cardinals. So,
well, if he and Pierce had got together on that one play, because Hagerman went on the blitz, and Hayden had his defender beat by at least 15 yards. And that ball was only about 1 yard or 2 overthrown.
Yeah,
those are another 70-yard completion.
Those are some of those timing issues that I think we're going to have to work out. And on the defensive side, Max Preps had Obi Ontiveros as the defensive player of the game. Xander Garrett and Kason Pearson also listed there, and on Max Preps as very important players on the defense. On the Giles side, their new quarterback, Brendan Giles, number 2. He had multiple rushing touchdowns. I was told he had 5 rushing touchdowns this past weekend. Josh Cervantes of Joe is a great athlete, great kid. He's been a heck of a ball player for them for the last couple of years, but he hasn't played football the last couple of years, and he decided to play this year. He's a running back and a linebacker. He did some great things for them. And then, of course, they've got the Division I prospect that's got multiple offers from Division I schools to play offensive line, Roger Taillon. And so it's going to. I'm excited to think that it's rivalry week here in South Lee County. Eunice and Joe. It all begins tonight with the Eunice and Joe volleyball game here at Joe Langston Gymnasium.
Say that 3 times fast.
It got a little tongue twisted there. So
tonight the keys are getting Gallant in the game. She
yeah.
gets those passing, gets that passing angle, boy, and she just drives it home. We've seen girls leave here probably some bruises because of how much she puts on the ball.
Yeah, I before the game today, I went on to Max Preps, and fortunately for us, Coach Robinson has uploaded all of her statistics, and so Caitlin Gallant, like right now, she leads the team in kills with 28 kills. Isabel Garrett is leading the team in blocks. Faith Hobbs leads the team in assists with 33, and Kendra Caballero leads the team in service points and aces. She has 8 aces on the season. So, but I agree with you. I think ultimately success of the team needs to go through Gallant. When you can get it to her where she can do that cross-court throw down that she does, it's tough to stop.
Well, a couple of the players that can key. I mean, you didn't mention that Parker has made some major plays throughout this, and Rango. I mean, boy, she has just been everywhere on the court. You know,
anytime you're talking sports, you always have those teammates on a team that the team is just better because they're out there. Their stats may not show up on the stat sheet, and those two girls right there this year have been those players. I mean, they at the end of the game, the stats may not look impressive, but they make things happen and they do things really well for the Lady Cardinals.
Well, Parker keeps them honest and it keeps them off of the line, because then they can't, because Granados can set it just easily backwards and give it over to Parker, and they've got to defend for both sides of it.
Yeah, agreed. And this JAP team, I was able to get with my good friend down Amy Lujan and get a roster earlier today, but they have not uploaded any of their stuff, which some teams don't. Early on in my coaching career, when I was coaching, I was anti-load stuff up today. I couldn't get any of your numbers because none of those are loaded, so I don't have any of your stats. I know that you've played 2 games and what the win-loss record is, and that's about all I know about your young ladies.
And we've got a busy week here. So tonight we're hosting Jowl, and then Thursday afternoon, because after 4:20, JV will be on the broadcast. That's from Hagerman.
Yes.
So that should be a heck of a showdown. And then Friday night, we host Jowl again in football, and then on Saturday, I'm drawing a blank. Who do we play Saturday?
Well, you've got Friday night here. You play Carlsbad in volleyball. That'll be a early or late afternoon game, and then that night we have the football game here versus Jowl, and then Saturday here at home, the Lady Cardinals will be taking on Dexter, and Dexter is always solid in volleyball, so that ought to be interesting as well.
We're also looking forward to the I realize that those really are, with the 60 cases over the weekend. There's a possibility that that recount will go again. And
once we get those results tomorrow, we'll have a better idea. Right now, as things stand here today, the idea is to have the stadium open at 25%. Fortunately for the Cardinals and for the Panthers, Eunice built a brand new stadium and it's got fair high occupancies. From what I was told a couple of days ago, I think that's going to allow a little over 1,000 people in the stadium. So, that'll give us a decent crowd. Maybe not what everybody would hope for, but it'll let some people get in the bleachers and watch. As long as we continue to stay where we're at, or if we improve. If we improve, it would even be better. But
if we can go to blue, then it's 50%.
Yeah,
and then we get close to 2,500 people, 2,700 people.
Yeah. Once you get to green and turquoise, it definitely opens some things up. And that Loving game, I've heard that if it remains that with Eddy County being red and us being yellow, that game may transfer over here, and we may get to play at home, which would mean that basically all of our games would be at home.
Except for last week.
Yeah, Nimi. Yeah, with the exception of Nimi. So it'll be an interesting deal. I noticed in Jowl's schedule, their Jowl football team, their last game of the season, they're going to Santa Rosa Well, they're playing Santa Rosa at a neutral site, but I still thought that was interesting. I thought, wow, how did that end up on the schedule? So.
Well, there were so many teams that decided not, especially from the Northeast, not to have any sports this year.
Right.
So there was people out and trying to make a season. Everybody's scrambling.
Yeah. Like I said, I just when I saw that on the schedule, I thought, wow, because you've got teams that are in our division. There wasn't many teams in our division that opted out of football, and so you've got Texaco, you've got, of course, New Mexico Military Institute and Dexter, and Hagerman and Loving and Eunice and Jow. I mean, you've got enough teams here in the southeast part of the state that I would think you could very easily play someone closer than Santa Rosa. That's not very close. But at the same time, I mean, it's a great deal for Southeast New Mexico to get to showcase, what we've got down here against a team that is historically very dominant up in the northeastern part of the state.
Well, I think it's going to be good for everybody, and like I said, tomorrow afternoon is going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
We see the results.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one other thing that I want to touch on is I've talked about it in our last broadcast, but the libero. I've had numerous people asking about liberos. I noticed Jow has number 15 out there today, which is Brianna Acosta, who's a former Eunice student who I got to coach in basketball at some point during her, junior high, early high school days before she moved down to Jow. She's the libero now for the Jow team. On the Eunice side, we've got Kendra Caballero that's suited up in the white jersey as well. And that libero, I kind of looked it up so that I could give this information to people, is a specialized player in defensive skills. It says the libero must wear a contrasting color jersey from their teammates and cannot block or attack the ball when it is above the net. When the ball is in play, the libero can replace, or when the ball is not in play, the libero can replace any back row player without notice to the official. So they can just step off and on the floor and substitute for folks. And so for Eunice, what they typically do is when some of the players like Caitlin Gallant or Isabella rotate to the back row, the libero rotates in and takes their spot, and then when they get back to the front, she rotates out. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I know I've had a lot of people asking me about the different color jerseys, so that's why that is.
And that's one of the only reason I was laughing there, as the Jowl team went off the field and went off the court, and the Eunice team, a bunch of them were bombing the ball down to the other side of the court, and some of the girls had to look out that they weren't getting hit by their own team. Yeah.
My middle daughter, Jada, when she played volleyball, we were up at the state semifinals, and they used to line up on each side and just serve it back and forth at each other, and it was craziness. But she got hit right in the nose and busted her nose right before the semifinal game. And I've noticed since I've been up here watching this year that now one side gets to serve, the other side sets down, and then the other side comes out and serves. And so they've changed that up a little bit, but it used to be like playing dodgeball out there.
All right, we've got a few minutes here before game time. Let's give the folks
Cardinal Hardware is a complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Hotel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware and Oil Patch Hotel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
Eunice Public Schools is proud of their Eunice Cardinals, the Eunice community, and the staff of Eunice Schools. Eunice Public Schools has anchored itself as an integral part of the Eunice community and takes school safety very seriously. Eunice Schools have continually provided a quality education for the students of Eunice through good times and bad. The Eunice School District appreciates the Eunice community, and they're proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Eunice is on the move. Are you ready?
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Are you looking for a reliable and trustworthy auto shop? Check out Zia Auto Shop in Eunice. Zia Auto Shop specializes in lube and tires and accessories. They accept fleet company maintenance cards and do washing and detailing. Next time you need a dependable tire or lube service for your vehicle, Zia Auto Shop has you covered. All the services you need, call 394-0298 for all your lube, tire, and accessories. That's 394-0298. Zia Auto Shop, 1800 Main Street in Eunice. Proud supporters of the Eunice Cardinals and
welcome back here to the Cardinals Arena as we're getting ready to take on the Joe Panthers in ladies volleyball. And as we said earlier, the Eunice team is 3-0 in the season, and the Joe team is 1-1. Their only common denominator is they both beat Loving in straight sets. And we're getting ready here for the first, I was about to say tip-off, but the first serve of the night. And as you, it's probably going to be double serve. At least that's the way it looks like they're lining up.
Yeah, for the Lady Cardinals, we've got Kiki Parker out there. We've got Yolanda Granados. We've got Caitlin Gallant, which just stepped off in the Ribeiro. Kendra Caballero has stepped onto the floor. We've got Faith Hobbs, Arissa Frazier, and number 4, Denise Rangel.
All right, we are about to get action underway here tonight. Big, as you said, South County battle.
Absolutely. Looks like for Jow, we've got number 1. That'll be Liliana Saceda. That'll be back to serve for the Lady Panthers.
And we've already got a change on the floor.
Yeah.
That rotation, it gets hard for everybody to understand.
Yeah, so here comes the libero. That's the confusing part, is the libero has to stand off until everybody else is set. And anyway, so here we go.
We are underway here tonight. And Caballero gets up front there to Granados. Granados over to Parker. Parker drops it in, and the first point of the night is going to go to the Cardinals, as they will now get the serve and the point. And let's see, who's going to be back serving for the Cardinals?
Kiki Parker went up and just smacked that ball right into the open space, and so Denise Rangel will be back to serve.
And here's her first serve. It goes back to, they're going to send it up front to the middle. They go up. Oh, nice run by Frazier. She gets it open, and then Gallant's out there. Gallant hits it deep. They send it over to the right side. Nice run by Rangel to save. Gallant at the net again. Boy, got a nice rally going on here. Rangel again. That's over to Hobbs. Hobbs goes to, and that was Granados, but she had a little bit too much on that, and Garrett, and she just comes in and sneaks that ball over for the point.
Well, they've called, looks like under the net on the Eunice, which is Garrett. They've called her under the net, so the point's going to go to the Panthers. It is now 2-2.
Back. Granados is bringing it up. She's going to bring Garrett again. And this time Garrett puts it in, and no penalty, and we'll get the point and the serve back.
Yeah, that time she was a few feet away from the net. She reared back, let them have it with that cross-court shot, and found the floor. Number 15, Yolanda Granados will be back to serve for the Cardinals.
And the serve comes over. They're ready to set it over to the middle start. They're dig back. Granados is going to go back over Garrett. Garrett drops it in. They're able to pick it up. And that one there, Ramirez, Abigail Ramirez, she gets a good set, but she's a little long there and puts it out. And now it's 4-2 in favor of the Cardinals. They come to the front. Oh, and that time as Ramirez was set again, and she hits it into the net. So the point still and serve staying with the Cardinals. 5-2 in favor of the Cardinals. Deep. They're going to go back over to Ramirez again. This time she just dinks it over. Now that's a Gallant. Gallant drops it in, and she gets a kill out of it, but it's a soft kill
right.
instead of attacking the player.
She almost looked like she caught an alley-oop and dunked it on the girl's forehead. She didn't really hit it. She just slammed it on her forehead. So that makes it 6-2 in favor of the Cardinals, and we've got a timeout, Jow.
All right, let's also remember that the folks that are making this broadcast possible for you. We have the City of Eunice and Parker Energy, as long as Eunice Clinic, Eunice Public Schools, Cardinal Hardware, Eunice Pump and Supply, and Zia Auto. We want to thank you all for helping us bring this broadcast to everybody tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Without these sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, so it's a good thing for sure. We're here in the first set. It's 6-2 in favor of the Lady Cardinals, and Granados is back to serve for Eunice.
Here's the serve again. Dig up front, staying back. A little confusion there. Drop it over. Caballero gets it. As Gallant far away from the net, so she picks it, and Gallant just drops it in. They kind of had everybody confused again. A soft touch instead of her boom.
Yeah, you know, when you're 6'3", 6'4", you can do things like that. She never even left the floor. She just smiked it right over into the corner and got the point, making it 7-2 Eunice.
Well, that's 3 kills for her tonight. Although this,
Granados with the service point. We had one of the young ladies from Jal there, number 15, Brianna Acosta, but it deflected off her arms. Point Eunice. It's now 8-2 Eunice.
And Granados got just a little too much on that one there. She's getting a little pumped, and so the serve and point will go back over to Jal as the Cardinals are leading 8-3 here in the first set. Park in the middle. It's going to go to Garrett. Garrett just drops it over. And set it up to Caballero. Gallant gets it. And it's back over to Jal's side. And Jal is trying to get it over there. That was number 10, Chloe Earp, but she's not able to get the ball over the net. And serving point will go back to the Cardinals, 9-3.
Yeah, it makes it 9-3 in favor of the Cardinals with Caballero serving.
So set it up here, going back over the other side there. And they're not able to get it in, but that one there, they were ready for her anyways as Earp tried to get it over, but she hits it up into the net. Wouldn't have mattered if Garrett was there. She would have stuffed it back down her. 10-3. Back over Caballero. Here's going to set for Nunez. Caballero gets it. Oh, nice. Oh, that would have been a beautiful save by Garrett. She could have brought that one back into play. But the ball is hit out of bounds by the Cardinals, and so point and serve will go back to the Jal Panthers.
That makes it 10-4 in favor of the Cardinals. We've got number 4, Abigail Ramirez, back to serve for the Panthers.
All right, there's the serve. Going back over to Hobbs. Hobbs sets it up, and great dig there in the save, and it goes back to the backcourt, back over to Jal. Jal's going to set it over to number 15, back over to Caballero. Granados is up front there, and Rangel's got it, and she hits it back over. Back over to Jal as Jal clears the ball over to the Cardinals. Hobbs to Granados. Granados hits the ball back over. And as soon as Nito, she gets it back to Caballero. Caballero to Garrett. And Hobbs is going to play it back over. We've got a nice rally going here. Caballero makes a great dive. Granados brings it over. Back to Rangel. And Rangel is not able to get it over the net after that beautiful rally. It's 10-5 now.
Great rally right there, and we had a good set. Rangel just came up a little short when she tried to hit that one over, so it's now 10-5 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
All right, here we come back over. And Rangel hits it out of bounds.
That makes it 10-6 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Number 4, Abigail Ramirez, is back to serve for the Lady Panthers.
All right, they make a little run here, 10-6 in favor of the Panthers, or trailing. Caballero hits the ball back over deep to Jal. Jal centers it up to Nito. Nito brings it over the fence. It's over Rangel. Rangel's going to go back to Hobbs. Nice save there by Rangel after the block. Oh, and that would have been great by Hobbs if that ball had stayed inbounds.
Yeah, it looked like Patron and Caballero decided to hit it at the exact same time, and just got a talk right there for sure. It makes it 10-7 in favor of the Cardinals with a timeout, Eunice.
Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware and Oil Patch Motel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
All right, back to the action here as Giles put on a little run here. 10-7 still in favor of Eunice. Nice dig out there. Hobbs gets it back over to Rangel. Rangel gets it, and Rangel hits it out again.
Yeah,
so it's 10-8. She's just she isn't dialed in yet.
Yeah, she struggled the last few times she's hit it. She's just hit it way too solid. It's now 10-8 in favor of the Cardinals.
So after a big run by the Cardinals, and Giles has come back, and that was a double hit on the Cardinals. Oh no, I guess that was a
double hit on the Panthers. Eunice will get the point. It's now 11-8 in favor of the Lady Cards, and Arissa Frazier comes onto the floor to serve, as well as Kiki Parker returning to the floor.
Yeah, she was motioning towards Giles, so I was kind of like, okay. All right, he's back over. It's going to go back over to Neto. Neto comes in. Nice dig by Caballero. Granada says get it over to Parker. Oh, and Parker kind of gets it off the tip of her fingers, and she's not able to convert. She had a nice set.
You know, we've seen a few of those where Eunice goes up and kind of swings and misses. So it's now 11-9 in favor of Eunice, and Giles serving.
This reminds me of that Tatum game.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very competitive for sure.
Yep.
Kiki
that
Parker,
been a great save, yeah.
Kiki Parker goes up number one, lets them have it across the center of the court, and Jao can't control it. Scores a point for Eunice. It's now 12-9 in favor of the Lady Cardinals, and it looks like Faith Hobbs is now back to serve.
Well, let's see if Hobbs can get a run here going for the Cardinals. So it's over to Eunice, back over to Nieto, and Nieto hits it into the net, and so that makes it 13-9 in favor of the Cardinals.
And Faith Hobbs will be returning to serve again, 13-9, still midway through the first set.
Here's a serve. Set for Nieto again, and
double hit. Yep.
Double hit again, so that point in serve will stay with the Cardinals. They're setting her up, but she is not able to convert so far.
On that set right there, she hit it like two hands, so it's now 14-9 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
Now go back. Caballero gets it. She's going up there to Hobbs. Hobbs to Parker. Parker puts it across. And it's down in the net, and that would have been a great save, but the point goes with the Cardinals.
That Kiki Parker went up and drove that ball down into the center of the court, and they tried to pick it up, but they just never could get control. It's now 15-9 in favor of Eunice.
So got a nice little run here going back for the Cardinals. Here's Nieto trying to go back in. This time, back to Caballero. Caballero puts it all the way back over the net. Oh.
Kiki Parker got in the net. They called her in the net, so they're going to give that ball back to the Panthers at 15-10 in favor of Eunice. Number one, Liliana Sauceda is back to serve.
Yeah, Parker didn't have much choice but to try and go for that one. All right. Caballero, and it's going to go over to Rangel, and this time and the point is because Rangel hit it off the ceiling, even though she got it over, the point goes to the Jowl Panthers. 15-11 here in the first set. So Sauceda to serve again. Oh, and we had a whole bunch of miscommunication there on the Eunice side.
Yeah, pretty violent collision right there between Faith Hobbs and Arissa Frazier. It almost looked like it was Friday Night Football right there for a moment.
Well, and you have Patron and Caballero there on the first set hit. And they also had a little conversation there. Granados goes over to Parker there. Parker goes back, and Parker is stuffed back down in. Parker goes put it over, and her shot is stuffed, and it's now 15-13.
She hit it solid. It just had two Jow defenders there to block it right back down.
All right, 15-13. Saucedo serving again. Granados is going to go over to Rangel, and Rangel drops it in this time. Instead of trying to muscle it like the other time, she just dips it, and it goes in for a point.
Yeah, she just kind of turned and actually kind of punched it with a fist right into the open space. It's now 16-13, and Denise Rangel is back to serve for Eunice.
And Gallant is back in on the court, which is always good to see. Maybe not if you're the Jowl team, you may not like seeing Gallant out there, but if you're Eunice, you want to see her.
Rangel gets a service point there, and now she's back to serve again. It's now 17-13 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
And there's a serve. Nieto hits it to Gallant. Gallant, who's that over? Hobbs is going to take it back over the net. And Nieto and Jowl is too strong there as
she hit that one hard and deep. It looked like a deep fly ball to center field there, and it's out of bounds, making the score 18-13 and a timeout Jowl.
And we're going to play another word from one of our sponsors.
Auto Shop in Eunice. Zia Auto Shop specializes in lube and tires and accessories. They accept fleet company maintenance cards and do washing and detailing. Next time you need a dependable tire or lube service for your vehicle, Zia Auto Shop has you covered. All the services you need, call 394-0298 for all your lube, tire, and accessories. That's 394-0298. Zia Auto Shop, 1800 Main Street in Eunice, proud supporters of the Eunice Cardinals and Lady Cardinals.
All right, we're back to action here as Rangel is back to serve again for the Cardinals. Yes. Cardinals leading 18-13.
You know, it seems like volleyball is always a game of runs. You know, we made our run first, then Jowl come running back, and now we're on another run. So it's 18-13 in favor of the Lady Cardinals here in this first set. And I'm not sure what we got going, but a little discussion over there between the coaches and officials on the side, just kind of waiting on them to give us the green light to get going again.
And we got Robbie on her cart.
Yeah, she's due to an ankle surgery. She's scooting around on that little scooter. We may need to get her a motor.
I offered to put a 5-horsepower motor on it for her. All right, there's the serve by Rangel. It's going to go back over Nieto, and Nieto is blocked at the net, and it's like, oh, they saved the ball.
Wow. Yeah, you know, earlier Kiki Parker went up and spiked one. They blocked it. That time she returned the favor. Kiki went up and blocked the Panthers back down. So now it's 19-13, Eunice.
Yeah, and if you're watching on video, that was a great play to watch. And that time Parker's there to drop the ball back down as it kind of hovers on the top of the net. So Parker gets another one.
Yeah, so now it's 20-13. Rangel still serving.
And that's going to go to, nice dig by Rangel, then Granados. And who's that? Garrett? Oh, no, that was Frazier. All right, that's going to go over to Hobbs. Hobbs goes over to Gallant. Gallant puts it down, but she's not, and they're not able to handle it.
You know, when she rears back and lets them have it like that, it's just really hard. They had a girl sitting right there, but when that ball hit her in the arms, it spun off, and now it's 21-13 in favor of the Eunice Cardinals.
She had a lot of tops down that. Ooh, and Rangel got 2 bumps and hit out of bounds. So the serving point will go back over to Jowl, and it's 21-14 in favor of the Cardinals. And that's Nieto going to hit it again. Caballero set it up. Granados is going to center for Gallant, and Gallant just taps it. And they're not able to convert, and so serve and point back to the Cardinals, 22-14.
Caitlin Gallant went up and hit that one left-handed, and it didn't look to be hit that well, but even then it gave the Jowl defense fits and ended up landing down on their side to make it 22-14. We've got Patron back to serve for Eunice.
All right, here's Patron's serve. She goes deep. They serve it up over there, and they hit it out. So that was number 9, Caminez, and she's so now it's 23-14 in favor of the Cardinals.
With Patron serving.
And that's going to Nieto, and Nieto hits it into the net again, and we have set point.
Yeah, so
24-14, 10-point lead here, and that was quite a run again by the Cardinals.
That's 24-14, Patron serve.
I set it over, and they're going to go back in the net again, and she hits it in the net again, 25-14. First set goes over to the Cardinals. So how did you like that one?
Well, I'm trying to keep up with this scoreboard this time. We're trying to use that on the screen so that everyone can see the actual score as it goes. But it's an interesting little app here. But I thought our girls played well. It puts us up 1-0. They battled, and so we'll see how set number 2 goes.
All right, let's hear some more of our sponsors. Boy, we're both getting tongue-tied tonight.
Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware and Oil Patch Motel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exam studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
Eunice Public Schools is proud of the Eunice Cardinals, the Eunice community, and the staff of Eunice Schools. Eunice Public Schools has anchored itself as an part of Eunice community. The district appreciates the Eunice community, and they're proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Eunice is on the move. Are you ready?
Eunice Pump and Supply has been for 30 years. Is excited to community, take in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all athletics.
All right, we're back to the action here, and Rangel's back to serve again.
Yeah, so we got that first win on set number 1. It's now 1-0. It looks like we'll have Rangel back to serve. We've got Arissa Frazier, Faye Hobbs back with her, Kiki Parker, Granados there in the middle, and that Kevin Gallant here on the left side, leaving us up front.
That is definitely the A-line.
Yeah.
So here's Rangel in the serve second, and she just drops it in for an ace, and
we'll take it at 1-0 Eunice.
Yeah, so Sato's kind of out of position there. Okay, she goes back deep again, and this time hit it backwards, and so
that makes it 2-0 Eunice. So we've got 2 service points in favor of the Eunice Cardinals here to start the second.
Here's Rangel's serve again. They go back over. They're going to serve it to Nieto. Nieto just taps it over this time. It's going to go up to Hobbs. Hobbs over to Gallant. Gallant down and bounces off 2 players, and really neither one of them hit it. It just bounced off of them.
Yeah, I think she hit them with the ball. They didn't try to hit the ball. They were trying to get out of the way. It's now 3-0 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
It's off one and ricochets. Okay, here's the serve. They're going to go back up court there, see if they can get it over. They just drop it over to Gallant. Gallant goes to Hobbs, and Hobbs goes back over to Parker on the other side. Boy, what a beautiful play on Parker's part.
Man, that set was even more beautiful. She acted like she was going to set it this way, set it backwards. Kiki was on that backside by herself and found the floor there.
Well, they must have known it was coming because Parker was coming up to the net, so she had a good idea that ball was coming her way.
Yeah, it was a great play all the way around.
And this is what I've talked about earlier in the game is the fact having those 3 in the front line with Granada there, you can't cheat one way because they chase over here to Gallant and Parker makes them pay for it.
Yeah, and the reality of the matter is there was 4 girls over here standing right in front of Gallant, and so they set to the other side and Kiki finished it.
Nieto is not able to get over the net. She's having a really tough night. I feel for that young lady.
Yes, that makes it 5-0 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Still serving.
yet again, this time she just taps it over. Oh, and she's going to get the point. As
Frazier made a play on it. She couldn't get under the ball to pick it up. That makes it 5-1 in favor of the Lady Cardinals with number 1, Salcedo, back to serve for Jow.
Oh, and Salcedo just barely gets it over the net, but it's enough. In tennis, that would have been...
Yeah. Get it right into the net, and it just spun right over and landed on our side. So that makes it 5-2.
Salcedo again. This time she clears the net with a little bit more, and Granado sets it up to Gallant. This time Gallant hits it into the net, and it's now 5-3, and still in favor of the Cardinals.
Another game of runs here. We made a run, now they're making a run. Should be 5-3.
Right, it's 5-3. They're just behind again. We've seen that earlier. So, okay, here's Granado. This time she goes over Gallant again. Gallant this time drops it in, and are they going to ever save it? No, they're not. And so Gallant makes them pay the time, so serving point goes back to the Cardinals.
It's now 6-3 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. We've got a substitution. Looks like Patron will be coming in, as well as Isabella Barrett coming in as well for the Lady Cardinals. Patron goes straight back to talk about it.
All right, we also want to thank our sponsors here tonight, City of Eunice and Harper Energy. As you say, their daughter tonight. Just, having a good play. I mean, won the last series where she just smacked it down, made them pay.
Yeah, Kiki Parker does a good job. Brett and Penny are always extremely supportive of anything to do with Eunice sports, and we definitely appreciate them. Eunice Health Clinic, Leanne Reeves, Alma Romero, all of you down there, all the staff, we appreciate you guys. Hardware, Chris Myers, Ashley Davis. We'll get to the best of you in a minute. We're up 8-3 here, and Patron is back to serve.
And there's a serve Patron going back deep. Oh, nice one there by Patron. Goes over Gallant. And, Gallant hits it out.
Yeah.
She's that crossing one. When she gets it straight inside, she doesn't have enough court to play with. She needs that crossing.
Back and smacked it, but it was right straight, and that seems to not be her shot. So Eunice now up 8-4. Number 13, Nieto.
Nieto puts it back. Caballero. Now it's back over to Jow. Jow brings it back over the net. Caballero again. This time going to Hobbs. Hobbs over to Gallant. And Gallant just kind of zaps it in, just a little bit of net there, and the ball just rolls over.
I think she jumped about a half second too early, so she was on her way down as the ball was coming down, but she was able to catch just enough of it to get it over the net. Eunice now leads 9-4 with Granados back to serve.
Granado serves up, goes back deep, bounce it off the ceiling. That's the strange thing is watch these things off the ceiling. Wow, that was a great save and series for the Cardinals there. Oh, and they're going to say it's in. I mean, Caballero was right back there, but they thought it was going to be out. And 9-5. That was a beautiful save, though, on their part to play before.
Yeah, it's great volley right there. And, Jal just got that point. So it's going to be 9-5 in favor of the Lady Cardinals, and Jal is back to serve.
And Caballero puts it back over, and she's got so much topspin on. I don't think that they can play it off the backboard of the basketball court.
Yeah, that was an interesting play there for the basketball fans. It almost worked out. Anyway, and for the Lady Cardinals, back to serve.
Now, you get 2 points if it goes through?
Maybe. If it's from behind the line.
Well, the first time I've seen that. Oh, and Caballero is a little out of position, and they're able to put that ball down, and the kill there for the Jowl Panthers as they get the serve and point back. 10-6 in favor of the Cardinals here in the second set. Yes. Cardinals won the first one, 25-14. Nunez is serving, and Caballero almost hits it, and at the last seconds decides, no, that looks a little strong, and the ball goes out.
She hit the ball long, and so Caballero made the right decision and allowed it to go out. It's now 11-6 in favor of the Eunice Cardinals. Arissa Frazier comes in to serve.
And Garrett and Patron sit down for the Cardinals. Oh, Rangel had the right idea, but she's not able to convert, and she hits the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, she went up to hit it, and then instead of hitting it like you would a volleyball. She kind of punched it, and I think it went just a little bit out. So that makes it 11-7 in favor of Eunice.
Well,
Zhao serving.
Just like the first game. All right, here's the serve, and they serve it right in. That's the first unforced error, though, we've had tonight where they've hit it right into the net. I mean, we've had some long, but that's our first total net ball.
All right, so looks like we have Faith Hobbs back to serve for Eunice with a 12-7 lead.
Oh, and if everybody standing there watching is Nieto was waiting to get set up, and Fuentes just couldn't get to it.
Yeah, so it's 13-7 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Hobbs serving.
Because Fuentes this time goes over to Saucedo, and Saucedo, she gets it, drops it down, and the Cardinals had too many people up front there.
Yeah, she hit that cross-court shot back there. Saucedo found that open space. There was nobody there, so that makes it.
Serve going over. Caballero drops. She puts it all the way back over. That serve was going to drop short. Okay, here comes Hobbs. Hobbs over to Parker. Parker drops it down. They're able to hit. And Nieto brings the ball back over. Caballero gets it out. Back to Hobbs. Parker hits the ball in. So we got a nice rally going here. Nieto brings it back over. Caballero fills it up front. There's Hobbs, and Hobbs gets it deep, and they're standing there waiting. And Nieto, she hits it down into the net again. And
that makes it 14-8 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. We've got some substitutions coming in, including Gallant back to that front left side where we like to see number 23, Rangel, back to serve for Eunice.
There's a serve in over there. Going back over to Ninette. And this time she gets it in. Oh! And a little confusion there between Rangel and
Rangel and Frazier both went for that ball. Wasn't sure who was going to get it, and they both kind of watched it, and at the last minute got a touch on it. It's now 14-9 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
Saucedo serving. Caballero brings it up. She Granados. Granados is going to bring it over to Gallant. And Gallant puts the ball over. Nieto this time gets it in, and we have some miscommunication as Granados and Frazier miscommunicate. Granados got back too far there, and
yeah, it's just a lack of communication out there on the part of the Lady Cardinals. It's now 14-10 in favor of Eunice.
Caballero calls him off this time. Granados gets it in, and this ball jumps over. Nice save there. Granados to Parker. Parker gets the ball over off the hands and able to drop it in. So he has a beautiful save off the net by the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was quite a rally right there. And then at the end, Kiki Parker went up and was able to drive one down under the floor to make it 15-10 in favor of the Cardinals. Had some substitutions coming in, and Clarissa Patron is in and back to serve.
Another kill for Parker tonight. She's having a stellar evening.
Absolutely.
Oh, and boy, they are set there, and now we're seeing some miscommunication on the Panther part.
Yeah, Patron with a good serve. It's now 16-10 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
Oh, and Patron gets an ace on just a floater there and falls in for an ace.
You know, she did that her last service time, right into that same space. They found a little opening there, and here she goes again. She did it again, or tried.
This time they were kind of ready for it. Nieto, she's kind of... And United hits it too far back, and so service point stays with the Cardinals.
Makes it 18-10. 18-10 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Patron still serving.
Nieto gets it over. She's going to go to Gallant. Gallant goes to Frazier. Frazier's going to go back to Garrett. Garrett puts the ball over and drops it down. This time they're able to save it. They get the ball over. Yes, they do. Frazier back over. Frazier's going to set to Gallant.
Boom.
And Gallant slams it down home.
Gallant lowers the boom on, makes it 19-10 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Still serving 19-10 in favor of Eunice.
All right, bring it back over there. Going to go to Nieto. No, it's going to go to and it was in. Well, I thought that one was going to in, but Fuentes brings that one back over, and they get the point. And back to serve, 19-11.
Yeah, just a great shot there by the Jow young lady. She made that little nice spike back into the back row. It's 19-11 Eunice.
Nieto serving. Granados is going to go over. Granados is over to... And Garrett thought she'd hit it, and she couldn't hit it again, so she stopped, but she didn't realize it was touched by the Jowl player, so it was free game for her to hit.
Yeah, it's now 19-12 in favor of Eunice with Jowl serving.
And Nieto hit too far.
It's now 20-12. We had Caballero back there playing limbo or whatever it's called on the back row. So.
Well, typically you see her diving to get the ball. That time she was diving to avoid the ball.
Right.
And we get another point there as Granados gets point, 21-12 in favor of the Cardinals.
Yeah, so Eunice already leads 1-0. It's now 21-12 here in the second set.
Back over there. Brings up Patron. Patron goes over to Garrett. Garrett is not able to convert as that ball was too far over to the side.
Yeah, that set just sailed all the way out of bounds.
Yeah, so
makes it now 21-13 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Jowl serving.
The serve comes over, going to go back over to Hobbs. Hobbs over to Garrett. And Garrett got caught in betweens again on that one. She didn't know what to do.
Yeah, in baseball you call that a swing and a miss. It's now 21-14 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Jowl still serving.
Euchre would have had a good comment for that one. All right, this time go over to Gallant. She has no problem figuring out which way to go with the ball.
Yeah, that was a nice set there by Hobbs. And Gallant went up and got it and just smashed it right down onto the floor. It's now 22-14 with Caballero back to serve for the Cardinals.
We're back. We're going to bring it up court there. It's going to go over to 4, and they try to tap it in, and that's Natalie Nunez, and she's not able to convert, and so point goes to the Cardinals.
Now 23-14. Caballero still serving in favor of Eunice.
Goes back over to, and that one is going to fall in again too, as Fuentes was not able to get the ball up over the net.
That's now 24-14, game point for Eunice here in the second set.
And they're going to go bring it back over, and they don't get it over again, and 25-14, that is the exact same score as the first set.
Yeah, and Eunice comes back. Been a game of runs so far, but Eunice ends up now at 2-0, and we'll be going to the third set here shortly after a word from our sponsors.
For the auto shop, check out Zia Auto Shop in Eunice. Zia Auto Shop specializes in lube and tires and accessories. They accept fleet company maintenance cards and do washing and detailing. Next time you need a dependable tire lube service for your vehicle, Zia Auto Shop has you covered. All services you need, call 394-0298 for all your lube, tire, and accessories. That's 394-0298. Zia Auto Shop, 1800 Main Street in Eunice, proud supporters of the Eunice Cardinals and Lady Cardinals.
Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware and Oil Patch Motel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
All right, we're back to action here as the Cardinals lead 2-0. Saucedo is back to serve for the Panthers. And now we get the rotation thing going on again, so it looks like the referees have got that figured out. And Saucedo back to serve to start out this third set. Goes back Frazier over to Granados. Granados over to Rangel. And Rangel goes back deep, and they're not able to convert. So Rangel gets a point there.
Yeah, we had a double hit up in the front anyway. That ball hit her in the chest and then hit her arms, and she hit it backwards from that point. So it makes it 1-0 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Rangel is back to serve.
All right, here's Rangel's serve. She brings it up there to 9. There's a Nieto. Nieto gets it over this time. Granados is bringing. Granados over to Gallant. And Gallant never really got in position on that. And so that serve and point goes back to the Panthers. And so 1-1. And Nieto is going to be serving now.
Yeah, just had a little too much on that one. But it's 1-1. Here we go. Set number 3.
All right, Granado's going to go over to Gallant. Gallant's away from the net. This time she goes backwards, and the point and serve will go back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, so Caitlin Gallant reached back and found that back corner without even jumping, hit it back into that back corner. Now gives Eunice the lead 2-1 here in the third set. Eunice up 2-0. We've got a couple of substitutions coming in. Clarissa Patron will be coming in probably to serve, and Isabella Garrett comes in up at this front left side.
All right, there's Patron's service. She goes over there to bring it back over. Not a serve over Fraser over Gallant. And Gallant's serve is in, or spike is into the net. And so the point and serve goes back over to the Cardinal, or to the Panthers. Yeah, we saw that in the first set.
Yeah, it makes it 2-2. It's a tie ball game. Caitlin Gallant just hit that ball right into the net.
And Camunez is serving. She brings it over there, and Hobbs went after a ball maybe shouldn't have, and she's not able to make a play off it, and so now serve stays with them, and point goes to the Jowl Panthers, 3-2. Gallant to Caballero. Caballero, great save off the ceiling there, is able to convert it. And unfortunately, fortunately, depending on what side you're on there, is the Panthers aren't able to convert, and the point and serve goes back over to the Cardinals.
Yeah, that makes it 3-3, and Granados back to serve for the Lady Cardinals.
She's put a couple of good runs in, and she hits that one on the line for an ace.
Yeah, that makes it 4-3 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. We've got a lead now. Let's see if she can keep it going.
In the last couple of games, this is about where they get close front, and then they start to have their little Gallant over to Granado, Granado to Gallant, and Gallant buries it down on a young lady, and all she can do is defend herself.
Yeah, that's one of those where she reared back and smacked that ball, and there wasn't a whole lot could happen there, but what did. So now it's 5-3 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
Back over there, just going to serve it back to it. It's going to Hobbs over to Granados. Granados is going to set Gallant again, and Gallant buries it down. She gets a bit of the net, but it doesn't matter as the ball got the net, and we get another point.
She drove it right into the top edge of the net, and that spun it down the side. Makes it 6-3 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
And that'll be an ace there for Granados on the serve.
Yeah, Granados with the serve point there. It makes it 7-3 in favor of the Lady Cardinals here in set number 3.
Well, that one they're able to pick it up off the ground, but they're not able to convert as that was Fuentes on her set is off and out of bounds.
And Jowl decides they'll talk about it a little bit. That makes it 8-3 here in the third set in favor of the Lady Cardinals, and Jowl wants a timeout.
You know, reminded me of the other evening, Gallant got that one, and I felt really bad for the girl because she went down, the ball bounces off her arms and right into her face, and you know that as much force as there was on that had to hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I want to let her hit me in the face with the ball for sure. Well, we've got a minute. We need to finish up this list of sponsors here. Cardinal Hardware, Chris Myers, Ashley Davis, the City of Eunice, Eunice Pump and Supply, Becky Nogelmeyer, my neighbor and staff, Zia Otto, the Whitmire family. Thank you, guys. Brett Penny Parker, Parker Energy, Leanne Reeves, Alma Romero, and all of the folks down at the Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Public Schools. Thank you guys so much. It's 8-3 in favor of the Lady Cardinals here in set number 3. Eunice leads 2-0, and it's Eunice serve with Granados back to serve.
All right, here's the serve over there. It goes deep. They're going to come bring it back up front. They're going to bring it over to Nunez. Nunez is able to, oh boy, that would have been a great save by Hobbs as Nunez brings it over. And Hobbs tries one arm, but she's not able to keep it in bounds.
Yeah, it was a heck of an effort there. Just didn't fall on the right side of the line. That makes it 8-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Jow serving.
Oh, and they called her out, but it was actually in, so I guess they're saying it was out. All right.
Yeah, the linesman made that call saying that it was out, so it's out, and here we go with Caballero serving.
So Caballero brings it over. She brings it over to Nunez. They're not able to do anything with it, and so point stays with the Cardinals.
10-4 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
Caballero goes over. And they're able to convert it back over. Garrett's going to set it up there. Garrett's going to set to Rangel. Rangel hits it deep. With Nunez. Nunez going to bring Saucedo brings it back over. Nice save there. Hobbs puts it back over. Hobbs puts it up again. This time it's going to drop back over. And it's dropping back and forth. We had about three hits where it's just on either side of the fence. Just bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, it looked like a balance beam there. That ball was just rolling down the top of the net, and people were hitting it back and forth. That makes it 11-4 for the Lady Cardinals.
Oh, and I'm going to give her an ace on that one because she couldn't do anything. The player couldn't do anything. So Caballero gets an ace on that one.
That makes it 12-4 in favor of the Lady Cardinals here in set number 3.
All right, bring it back and bring it right up front to Fuentes. Fuentes puts it over. Granados puts it back over. Fuentes is going to go over to Ramirez. Ramirez back to Caballero. Granado comes over to Rangel. Rangel puts it over. Boy, great save there by Rangel because that ball, Garrett hit that ball in a bad spot. Hobbs gets it, and then Rangel is able to convert.
Yeah, that was a great play right there. Some of those points are just hustle points, and that right there was one of them. It's down 13-4 in favor of the Lady Cardinals.
Bring it back over. Caballero. She's going to set it up front to Granados. Granados is going to go for Rangel. Rangel puts it back. The backcourt. They get it back over Rangel. Over to Hobbs. Hobbs goes over to Garrett. Garrett's able to, and they're not able to handle it as Garrett gets enough on that boy, and the point and serve stays with the Cardinals.
So she came back and hit that ball pretty well, and she struck it real well. It was a 14-4 lead in favor of Eunice here.
And she kind of needed that because she's been struggling here recently.
Yeah, she struggled a little bit today, so.
All right, that one back over that. That was Hobbs, it looked like. Here's Hobbs down again. He's going to go over to Granados. Granados just barely gets it over the net. And they're not able to do anything with it because it's just too close to the net.
Granados was trying to set that ball out here to Rangel, but it went just over the net and fell on surprise for the Jow Panthers to give Eunice the 15-4 lead.
We'll take the point.
Yes.
Oh, nice save by Caballero there as she's diving out of bounds. Another nice save by Caballero, and Rangel is able to keep it in play. That time Caballero is covering a lot of ground in that backcourt there. But on her third one-arm try, that time they're not able to convert, and point and serve will go over to the Jow Panthers.
Makes it 15-5 in favor of Eunice. Eunice up 2-0 here in the third set. Man, that was some really entertaining play there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and Abigail Ramirez is serving for the Panthers. And we're going to have an unforced error there. She goes straight into the net. 16-5. So after the Cardinals put on a run, Panthers get the serve back and then give it right up.
Yeah, and now we've got Arissa Frazier coming in to serve, and Kiki Parker returned to the court as well.
And they're not even doing that. It's another one of those little soft serves. It clears the net, and they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it seems like this area right over here in front of our broadcast on our side, that seems to be where Eunice is trying to hit the ball softly too. And a lot of times, for whatever reason, Jow just doesn't have anybody over there. So it's now 17-5 in favor of Eunice.
And they're just these little floaters. It's not like they're killing it.
Right.
All right, Caballero. She's going to bring it back over to Parker. Parker puts it down. Nice save there on the Panthers' part. They'll keep the ball in play. And Parker will play it again. Parker comes over to the other side. Giles sets it up to Zing. Nieto, she's able to get it. and the ball is hit out of bounds by Jowl.
Yeah, so that makes it 18-5 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Larissa Frazier still back to serve.
I don't mean to say this is the biggest lead for either team of the game.
I believe so.
And that's Parker's going to get called in. Parker tried to dunk that ball down, but she got into the net, and so the serve and point will go over to the Panthers.
Yeah, the idea was right. She just got into the net a little bit. It makes it 18-6 in favor of the Eunice Cardinals. Jowl serving.
That brings it up front. There's Hobbs. Hobbs is going to go across to Rangel. Rangel brings it back deep onto the Jowl side. And Nieto, this time Nieto, and she just kills that ball, unfortunately, about 10 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, she powered it across the court all the way almost into the bleachers. I thought she was going to hit Dairy Freeze with that shot.
So the serve goes back. That is Hobbs serving.
Had two young ladies from Jowl there wrestling over that one, and fortunately for the Lady Cardinals, the point went to Eunice. That makes it 20-6 in favor of the Eunice Cardinals with Faith Hobbs back to serve.
And the Cardinals are already leading 2-0. This is looking pretty bad for Jowl right now. Nietos, and that will not get it, is the two hits there on the same side for Jowl. And so the point stays with the Cardinals.
That makes it 21-6 here in the third set. Eunice up 2-0.
Hobbs brings it back over. Oh, and Saucedo for Jowl is able to just sneak that one in and gets her kill there for a point. And so they prolong the game as it goes 21-7. Yeah, and Saucedo's going back to serve now, so you get the point and go to serve. Well, unfortunately, Hobbs got caught in between there. She couldn't decide whether to go underhand or overhand, and she gets one arm up and hits it out of bounds. So
she kind of forearm bumped it, like she was telling it good game, or Basher Brothers in baseball or something.
21-8. Rangel gets it over to Granados. Granados back to Rangel. Rangel brings it over. And I'm not sure what.
They called Jowl under the net. So that'll make it
22-8
in favor of the Lady Cardinals here, and Rangel will be back to serve.
So Rangel service in, and they're not able to handle is that Nunez hits it backwards, and 23-8 in favor of the Cardinals.
Yeah, Rangel's really gave them some fits back there from the service line.
Bring it up front. That one's going to come all the way over. It's going to go to Parker. Oh, Parker gets caught in between and doesn't know what to do. And so the serving point goes back to the Jowl Panthers.
Yeah, and now you'll have number 13, Nieto, back to serve for Jowl. Eunice up 23-9 here in set number 3.
Well, good serve there. Can they get it over? Yes, as Granados is able to make a beautiful one and get that back over. Here comes over to Parker. Oh, and Hobbs hits it out of bounds. And so the point will go to the Cardinals. We don't want to do this because they're closing into that point score. We have 25-14 in both the first two games.
yeah, they're trying to return to glory here and try to make it the same. 23-10 in favor of the Lady Cardinals, and they serve it out of bounds.
All right, so this is game, set, match point here.
Yeah, it is 24-10. Eunice already leads the first two. They won the first two sets, so they're up 2-0. If they win this point, the game will be over.
All right, and Patron serving again. So here we go. They're going to go over to no, they're going to go to Nunez, and Nunez hits it out of bounds, and that is game. And this time here, it's only 25-10. So the Cardinals win in straight sets, and now since the game against Tatum, the Cardinals have not lost a set.
Yeah, with the exception of those sets against Tatum, where they ended up winning the game, they have not lost a set all year. So Eunice has really got it going right now, and it's a good time to have it going because they've got Hagerman coming up, and everyone I talk to thinks that Hagerman is probably the team to beat in our district. So it'll be an interesting test for the Eunice Cardinals coming up.
Well, Hagerman beat Jowl 3 sets straight, and now Eunice is, so common denominators, they're both 3 sets. So it looks like it will be a great game on Thursday. Remember Thursday's game, it's a 4 o'clock game, no JV, so we will be on the air broadcasting the varsity game at 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. We want to thank the sponsors that make this possible. We keep going on and on about them. You don't understand the effort and everything to have these sponsors supporting the high school kids, because without them, you wouldn't be able to watch at home, and you wouldn't be able to.
There's a reason why Eunice is always competitive in everything. It's because the community is just so supportive, and we can do it without.
So, exciting week coming up. Unfortunately, Friday night volleyball game, we will not be able to bring it because we're going to be over in the stadium doing the football game. But Thursday afternoon in Hagerman will be there, and Saturday here for Dexter will be there. And then we're all looking forward to that football game on Saturday night. That should be or Friday night should be super exciting.
Yeah, it's this week is going to be an interesting, entertaining week. It should be fun. These Lady Cardinals got out here and took care of business with Jow, and although they've still got some games between now and Friday, now the Eunice Cardinal football team will have that opportunity come Friday night, and it should be an exciting week, no doubt.
Well, I'm kind of feeling for the volleyball team. So they have 4 games this week.
Yes.
And 3 games in a row. So they play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's a lot.
Well, and with the way this is set up, I'm guessing that they'll play Friday. Then they'll all probably run out the door, jump in their cars, zip across to the stadium, and then go cheer on the Cardinal football team. And then they'll have to wake up bright and early that morning and go play some volleyball again. So it's going to be an interesting week for these young ladies.
Well, this is Steve Mueller with Jimmy Jones here at the Cardinals basketball arena as the Lady Cardinals win again, 25-14, 25-14, and 25-10 over the Jowl Panthers.
Yeah, and one other shout-out, our JV team, which we mentioned them at the very beginning of this broadcast, but our JV team has won again tonight, and so they have just been on a mission, and they took care of business again. I see Bree Armendariz is out there walking around the court. She had a heck of a JV volleyball game today, and so that JV team is undefeated. The varsity team is undefeated, and it's been a heck of a start to the season for both these two volleyball teams.
Well, I don't even want to say anything more about the JV because they're not only undefeated, but they have no blemish.
Right. They have not lost a set.
Yeah, so hopefully I didn't jinx you young ladies, but you don't play again until Friday night, so you have time to get over my jinx there.
Yep. So should be good. I mean, it's an exciting start to the season. I'm enjoying things. It's fun, and I guess now the big thing is cross our fingers and see what happens with the county color coordination stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a biggie. And you hate to have to plan things around a disease, but that is our life now.
Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting week, to say the least. So we just hope that we stay at least where we're at in that county color code, and it would even be better if we could move up a level and get into that green area to where we would raise the amount of people that can come into our events.
Yep. Well, this is Steve Mueller and Jimmy Jones with you tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. We thank our sponsors again for making this possible. We'll be back with you Thursday afternoon. You all be safe.